Back on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell on your afternoon drive. Joining us on the Rob Dibble Show hotline, Joe Farrell, 31 years young and 10 years in the league. He is a defender for the Hartford Athletic. And, Joe, I'm reading up on you, and, you've played your next game will be your 200th game played. You're over 15,000 minutes, and they make it seem like you're 40 years old, but you're really 31.
Yeah, no, I still feel young as can be. Obviously not as young as I once was, and thinking back to maybe my rookie year or so, and especially coming off this past week, we had a busy schedule with 3 games in 8 days, and my body's definitely telling me that I'm in my 30s, but my mind's still young as can be.
Joe, tell us about defenders versus, just in a soccer sense. Are the defenders and the goalies in their own clique, and you guys really don't hang out with midfielders and forwards? Is that across soccer? Is that a thing with the Athletic? How does it go in the locker room with defenders against other positions?
I would say goalkeepers kind of have their own thing going on. Goalkeepers are a different breed to be able to throw their body on the floor time and time again and take shots off all parts of their body. So I would say that the goalkeepers tend to stick together. For us field players, defensively we do work together and have video sessions and defensive group sessions. But when it comes to hanging out, the field players, if you're a field player, you're a field player. It doesn't matter if you're a striker, midfielder, defender. But in my years, I've noticed that the goalies tend to have their own little union. But I think that comes with the territory of being a goalkeeper. You have to think a little differently to be able to throw your body on the ground and across the goal and in front of shots. So defenders, we have it a little bit, but not as much as those guys.
Talking to Joe Farrell, defender of the Hartford Athletic. All right, so I got a weird question here. My 14-year-old was just put on defense in lacrosse. She doesn't like it. She wants to be a forward.
Ooh.
Tell all the young kids how important defense is in all of these different respective sports. And when your coach says, and this happened to her, you're the best defender. So when did somebody say you're the best defender, Joe, and you were probably fast, you probably wanted to score goals, and now you have to go on the other side of the field and keep goals from going in and helping the goalie? Explain that for younger kids, that it's not a demotion.
Yeah, well, speaking back to what we were chatting about just before this call went live, I'm from the Philadelphia area, and I went to Wissahickon School District. And when I was in Wissahickon High School, I actually played lacrosse myself, and I was a midfield/forward. So I have played other sports. I have played other positions. But it doesn't matter, particularly in soccer, but in all sports, it doesn't matter if you're labeled a defender. All players on the field at one time, when you don't have the ball, you're defending. So in soccer, we lead with our strikers. Our strikers, they have to get good ball pressure, so the other team can't just walk up the field and pass from their half into our half too easily. So even though they're strikers, they're still responsible defensively. And that comes with all team sports. That responsibility of defense isn't an individual mindset or this team has 3 defenders, so there's only 3 people thinking about defense. In any team sport, basketball, hockey, baseball, all the players are thinking about defense at some point. When your team's out of possession or the other team's at bat, every player on the field should be thinking about defense. So making the switch from offense to defense or a more forward aggressive position, goal-scoring position to defense isn't the most star-studded or you don't always get your names in life, but as long as you perform and your team wins, that's the best thing for any athlete. So being able to do your part as a teammate, and if you're a good defender, defending as hard as you can and helping your team win from the back is the way that you get recognition. So all sports kind of have that mindset of, I'm a striker. Maybe I don't have to defend. Maybe I or let's say basketball, I'm a point guard. Maybe I don't have to be the best defender, but I'm just going to score 30 points and hope that our team wins. If you see in March Madness, you see how important the games are defensively and how turnovers can ignite offensive spark or have your team moving and getting momentum and trending towards a winning game.
Talking to Joe Farrell, he's holding it down the backside. Defender number 15, Hartford Athletic. They got a Saturday affair, 2 o'clock kickoff against the Indy 11 over there at Dillon Stadium, the Trinity Health Stadium. Joe, you did bring up March Madness. It is parade day, so as soon as the parade is over for the women's basketball national championship team from UConn, everybody should head on over to Dillon Stadium for kickoff. And now also, as you are so good at talking about kids just then, giving Coco some advice, Dibs' daughter. I was reading some bio, man, from Wissahickon High School as we were talking before we started this interview. Dude, they love you there, but you told us, like, you're not the star. Your mom's the star. And after you told us about that, it's like, now I know where he gets all the goodwill towards kids, towards animals. He's a lover of all things. Like, you get it from your mom, man. Tell us about your mom and tell us about your high school experience. You say Philadelphia, but this is like north side of Philly, right?
Yeah, it's the suburbs. I claim Philadelphia, but I was a suburbs baby. Yeah, so I'm super grateful for my family. I'm incredibly blessed for not only my parents but also my siblings. But getting back to my mom, she was a teacher for over 40 years, and speaking of Wissahickon School District, she taught in that school district alone for about 35 years.
Dang.
And she just retired last year, so
Awesome.
she's enjoying her first year of retirement. But yeah, so my father was also a Division I soccer coach. So working with not only youth but adolescents, going into grown-ups is something that I've always kind of seen and was able to witness growing up. So that was part of my nurture, was being around really caring grown-ups and individuals who also cared for the next generation. So being able to see that, it just comes naturally for me to work alongside with kids. And I have nieces and nephews. I'm the youngest of my siblings, so now I have 7 nieces and nephews who are always a blast to hang out with. When I go home in the off season, I tend to coach their teams a little bit and help them out that way. So it's really cool to see how the next generation approaches athletics, but also just life in the world in general. And being able to shape that in any way that I can, I feel blessed. So
I love this guy.
That's fantastic, dude.
Awesome.
That's fantastic. All right, tell us about the Hartford Athletic. Like you said, 3 games, 8 days.
Dang.
You guys are probably a little bit dragging. Where do you sit right now? I think you're 12th. How do you guys feel about the season so far?
We need goals, Joe.
Yeah. The season's gotten off to a bumpy start. But being in the matches have been a lot closer than the score line has shown. We've had multiple chances to score in each game, and defensively we've been pretty solid, but we've had moments of lapses, whether it's a restart or a restart that gets cleared and then a second phase of a restart. It seems like we've had just a few small minor details that we're still ironing out as we're in the start of our season. But I believe in this group. I think that we have talent through the roster. We're a younger team and a smaller roster this year, but the guys in the locker room, I have faith in. And you saw last year, we also didn't get off to the best start, but we ended the season. We had the most points in Hartford Athletic history. Yep. We ended out 1 point away or 1 or 2 points away from the last playoff position. And we finished the year, I think we had 10 wins out of our last 14, 15 games. So we really found our stride, and that's what we're looking for right now is finding our stride. So even when we lose the game, there's a lesson in that loss. And hopefully we only learn particular lessons only once a season. So as we fight through some of these speed bumps at the start of the year, I think everyone's still focused on the quality of this team and coming together as teammates and as a collective to come out on top of these games. And we're heading into April with a 3-game homestand coming up. We got 3 big matches each of the next Saturday nights. So playing in front of our fans, we were great last year. So we're hoping to keep that going again. And playing at Dillon, it always gives us that little bit extra energy. So hopefully that energy pushes us over the line and we get our first win, and then we start to get on a roll.
There's something about the defenders in the supporter section that just, I don't know, there's a better relationship there. We just love you over there because I guess you're on our side of the screaming area, especially if you're on that side of the field. But Saturday, 2 o'clock, Indy 11, Trinity Health Stadium, downtown Hartford. This guy, Joe Farrell, will be a part of hopefully a win to get some points on the board. Now, you're the poster boy of this team. Like every poster I see.
I wouldn't say that.
I don't know, man. You're front and center. They are pushing Joe Farrell because you're the tough guy. Like at least the look. I think we're figuring out you're not so tough and you're a sweetheart. But the look, man. And the one thing I want to ask you, because we do a lot of baseball here and we talk about chains all the time and these baseball players with their chains. And I noticed there's 2 people in particular at the Hartford Athletic that are big on the chain game. And one being Joe Farrell, where he goes 2 chains in his picture on the roster. The other, your goalie, Anthony Sahia, he has like 40 chains on. What is up with the chains? Do you play with chains? What is your chain philosophy? When did you get your first chain? Tell me all about your chains.
All right. So a lot in this question. Well, as athletes, I mean, like you said, off the field, I work with kids. My mom was a school teacher, so I go in schools at times. I coach some private lessons. So I'm, as you said, in your words, not mine, a sweetheart.
Yes.
Off the field. But the thing with athletes is you have to have that ability to, when you step on the line, you almost become a new person. You have that little bit of fire inside that when you're playing your game, when you're playing your sport, you're able to express that fire and show that fire and that passion. So that's why I love to play defense. I love to make other people frustrated. I love to hit people, hitting people. I love it. So as a defender, getting that little bit of flair and letting that fire come out, it's good. Moving to the chains, I think that's also part of being an athlete. You have to almost embrace your persona, and whatever your style is, you got to go for it, because not everyone has the employment where they get to go and wear whatever they want to work.
Love it. Yeah.
So us, we have that ability to go into a game day, and the classic adage is look good, feel good, play good.
Damn right.
So I think that's my mindset when it comes to the chains. I like to look good and feel good heading into a match, and then from there I just let my emotions out and I really express myself on the field. And whether that's hitting somebody defensively or scoring a goal on offense, you get to have the excitement and that escape for us athletes.
What about your goaltender, Anthony, man? Like, he's going to OG. He's going to over gold. Like, he has got, Kurt, I'm telling you, he's got 40 chains on.
Anthony's got style. I'll give him that. I don't know if I could pull off as many chains as he does, but he's got his own style, and it works for him. I know he's a West Coast kid, so he's had some experience out there, and I believe he also is very into fashion. I believe he has a side hustle of his own clothing line.
Awesome.
So,
nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. So with that, that's another way that us athletes get to have an outlet. It's not only what we're doing on the field, but it's how we feel and what we're doing off the field as well.
Well, Joe, thank you so much for a few minutes of your time, man. Good luck in the future, and don't worry. Go to Puerto Rico. Gold is really cheap there. I used to get a lot of gold there, so easy to get chains in Puerto Rico.
Excellent. Good luck, sir. Good luck this weekend.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.